What's up, everybody? Yeah, welcome to a special Sunday night solo episode of The Voice of Reason. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of bad things have happened today or over the last couple of days. I went from being extremely happy the other day, being at this Unite for Veterans rally, being right next to the press, having a media pass, which I now have hanging behind me. Right there is like one of my most prized possessions. So I was so happy to be there back in D.C. You can see that like one side was the Capitol building right behind the stage here, and then on the other side of us was the Washington Monument. A lot of people showed up. It was really cool being in the press pool. Mark Hamill did a video here. They had big old giant screens next to the stage and just an amazing environment. And I was happy to be part of it. I just wish I had better equipment. I did the whole thing from my mobile device, which actually worked decent. But being out in the sun, it got so hot, my phone started to overheat that it wouldn't hold the charge, and the resolution completely dropped to shit. So I know what I need now to do a proper mobile broadcast. So the next mission, all right, from the mission from here on out for this show is to this year I want to make it official. I want to start the VOR Media Group. I want to create an LLC. I want to make it official, get a license, all that stuff, or get whatever we need to make us like an official entity, I guess, so to speak, not just the podcast. What's up, everybody? It's low as always. God dang it! All right, hold on one second. Let me turn up my volume again. Boop, boop. That should be better. Okay. All right. So what I was saying is like our mission now from here on out, and we have to raise money for this, of course, because we can't do anything without funding anymore. But we want to create the VOR Media Group. I've decided I want to make it official. We want to do a comedy channel that's dedicated to just like political comedy and stand-up comedy with James, being that he's a stand-up comedian. We have a bunch of ideas. I want to do a lot more on-location stuff. So what I want to do is create the VOR Media Group. I want to get an LLC created. I want to get a website made. I want to do all this stuff. Like I have all these ideas. So now the mission is to somehow get sponsors and or donations for that. So if you guys again are interested, please visit the link tree in the description of this video. We have Cash App. There's whatever other way you can suggest for us to raise money. We're more than willing to listen because fundraising has not been our strong suit. We've had this particular GoFundMe set up for like a year and a half now. Well, pretty much since we started the show. We've been trying to raise like 10 grand and we're only at like 3, I think. But we've managed to get computers and microphones and like all this stuff. So, we've come a long way. So, but I want to make it official. I want to start a media group. We have people that are willing to make content for the channel. We just don't have the time and or the resources to do this. If I would have had one person with me to help do this, I could have done such a better broadcast. I could have been moving around with a separate camera. Like I have so many ideas for this kind of stuff. I could be in LA right now. I was telling Fred Wellman, I texted Fred to to thank him and just told him like I could literally be in LA right now live streaming the entire thing. And I finally figured out that I can Streamlabs has an app for the mobile device, so I can actually multi-stream now to multiple different platforms. Like, so I can do Twitch, Kick, and YouTube at the same time instead of just YouTube, and probably do it better. But it is hard doing from your mobile device on location because you're literally just using your little touch screen there. So I'll figure it out. But equipment is essential. But like I said, I would rather be on location instead of behind this computer right now. I'd rather be in Los Angeles right now documenting the entire thing. Because this is just Los Angeles is just a test case. All right, let's not be naive. Los Angeles is just a test case. Mike and I have talked about this since day one of Trump's administration. I said that he was going to call for the Insurrection Act on day one, which there was no reason to because nobody rioted, so they didn't. Then they wanted to do 90 days. They declared a state of emergency at the border, and then gave their Pete Hegseth and Christie 90 days to evaluate the situation and give the recommendations. Well, obviously, they recommended that they can't do that. Now, what Donald Trump has done is he's basically giving random assholes with no qualifications, probably very little training, giving them military equipment. And now they're doing police or military-style raids on just random neighborhoods because they're basically racially profiling entire neighborhoods and targeting them. and going in with there was a Black Hawk helicopter in one video. I'm like, are you are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? Is that really necessary? Um, so this has gotten completely out of control. Donald Trump's entire world is falling apart, and the only thing he has left is to try and declare. If he declares martial law, then basically that suspends the Constitution, which means we won't have midterm elections. Because once Donald Trump declares martial law, I don't know how it works to lift it. Is he the one that has to do that? Or do we have a say in the matter? Is it going to be permanent martial law? You know what I'm saying? And again, this is just a test case. But Donald Trump keeps messing up. Like, he congratulated the National Guard for quelling the civil unrest when the National Guard hadn't even showed up in California yet. So it's just a giant mess. It's a giant mess. So we're going to talk about that. I want to talk about No King's Day coming up. Again, thank you guys for watching when we went when I did this rally here. This was amazing. This was amazing. Seeing Dropkick Murphys perform live on stage was awesome. Never seen him perform before. And so, yeah, it was just great. Had a lot of great speakers. And unfortunately, I missed like an hour of it because my phone was just cooked. Literally cooked. It was so hot. I thought I was going to blow up. But no, it lasted for a while. But like you can see, like halfway through the video here, look, the resolution just completely drops. Look at this. Like, so bad. So bad. This is unwatchable here at this point. The first half is good, but once I was out in the sun for so long, my phone just overheated, and I would not. Yeah, this is what the resolution looks like. So I got to figure out cameras. That's essential for future events and live streams on location. Plus, if I can get a laptop, I can do a proper on location podcast with multiple cameras and stuff like that, because we have that all figured out as well. But this was amazing. Great event. And then the day after, watching everything unfold in LA, or it's just sad. It's sad, really sad. But we have a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about not only the ICE raids. I have a couple live feeds. We're going to have a couple videos of Tom Homan talking about it. I have a video of Donald Trump busting his ass going up the steps of Air Force One today. Trump administration did bring Mr. Abrego Garcia back to the United States after saying he would never be back in the United States. And now they're coming up with a fake charge of human smuggling. I will talk about it because you guys may have heard about that there's new charges and indictment against Mr. Abrego Garcia about human smuggling. And it is not true. It's completely bullshit. And I'll tell you why. Again, Trump is possibly there's rumors that he's possibly looking to help Russia by lifting sanctions against them. And there's also rumors, this is based on a lot of intelligence, I guess, and a lot of tip-offs that Russia is planning on a massive attack on Ukraine tonight. So keep an eye out for news reports. We'll probably be talking about that tomorrow on Tuesday, along with updates on all this stuff. So so let's start with, what do you want to start with? Let me see what I got. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Let me see what I got. Let me close that out. You know what? Let's start with this. This is the video from 92. Tupac warning us about Donald Trump. He told us. Tupac was wise. Let me unmute it.
Mean in ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme. Everybody back off. Everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. If you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme. Push. Step. Crush. That's how it all is. It's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for $36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1 million, $1 billion, and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses. Even if you earned it, you still owe. Because look at me, I don't have that mega money, but I feel guilty walking by somebody. I got to give them some mail. And if I know I got $3,000 in my pocket, I feel like it's wrong to give that person a quarter.
Oh, I should be more like Tupac. He warned us, so yeah. Yeah. So, I'm just honestly heartbroken today watching all this stuff happen. So, but yeah. All right, where do you want to start? Let's see where we want to start here. Let's talk about. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull this up. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, okay, is back in the United States, but now he's charged with human smuggling. This was just unsealed. Garcia's lawyers called the charges preposterous and asserted that he's never been convicted of any crime in the U.S. and El Salvador. What the Department of Justice is doing now, they brought him back, broke all the pressure. Okay, they brought him back, but now they're charging him because of what happened was there was a traffic stop. Kilmar Abrego Garcia in Tennessee, apparently he was doing work there, was transporting undocumented immigrants in his truck, workers, okay, in the back of his vehicle, got pulled over, okay, didn't have insurance, or didn't know where his insurance was because it was his boss's truck, and he was driving on a suspended license, but the cops let him go without even giving him a ticket, just a warning. They literally let him go. Didn't even give him a ticket for this, and that is what they are basing this entire charge around. They're basing it around that traffic stop where he just had dudes who were workers in the back of a truck. They were in the back of the truck voluntarily, no less. But they're saying he's a human smuggler, and that's what they're going to go with. That's the hill they're going to die on. They are going to look like such fools because there's body camera footage of this. There is body camera footage of this actual traffic stop. And they're trying to say it's human smuggling. They are just so out of touch with reality. And they don't believe in anything called. They believe in charges, but without evidence. Like, there's no evidence to support this accusation. I mean, driving on a suspended license. Okay. Maybe should have got a ticket for that. You know, maybe they should have, I don't know, impounded the truck. I don't know. But not human trafficking. Like, it's ridiculous off a traffic stop where he didn't even get ticketed. That's crazy. That's crazy. But Garcia is now back in the United States. I don't know if he's out of jail pending these charges or if he's still locked up. I have to look into it. But this is crazy, man. Just let the guy go. The guy didn't do anything at this point. At this point, he deserves to be a United States citizen. Actually, at this point, why would you want to be a United States citizen? I'd be like, just deport me somewhere. Just not El Salvador, but I'll go somewhere else. This sucks. Deport me to Canada, for crying out loud. I don't know why you would. I hope they cancel the World Cup. I hope they cancel the Olympics just to make Donald Trump look stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, cancel all of it. Why would you want your star athletes coming to this country right now? You are out of your mind. Look at what's happening in Los Angeles. What happens when they accuse a cis female athlete of being trans again? They're going to lock her up and send her to El Salvador? Like, what is the plan? Like, you really want to risk that? We have the Little League World Series in my hometown. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to we have kids from all over the world come here to compete in the highest level of Little League Baseball. And it's an absolutely amazing experience. And our city relies on a lot of revenue from that. It generates a lot of revenue annually. And it's really fun to go to. It's free to go to. It's awesome. And these kids get treated so good. They get all new equipment. They stay at this compound that's built just for them. It has a pool and recreation area. It's like a miniature major league stadium. It's beautiful. But why would you want your kid to come here in this environment? You are just risking you're risking your freedom to come here right now. I mean, there's a lot of us that don't even want to be here anymore, but we can't leave because we can't afford to. But what's happening? Yeah, what's happening in LA is going to happen all over the country. But you know what? I'm proud of LA. I'm proud of LA for standing up to it. It's about time somebody did. It's about time. But even, you know what's fucked up? Even the LA cops, one of the most corrupt cops in American history, one of the most corrupt police forces in American history has come out and been like, yeah, they were peaceful protesters. ICE is the one that started all this shit. Like even they are coming out and saying this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's absolutely crazy. But sorry, so Kilmar Bray goes back. After Christina went on TV and vowed, oh, he'll never come back to the United States, ever. Well, he's back. Okay, so they tacoed again. They chickened out and brought him back under the pressure. And now they're going to try and charge him with some bullshit, which will fail, and they'll look like idiots again. But this is what happens when you have people that don't know what they're doing running the country. In other news, Trump may get rid of his Tesla. The beef continues, y'all. The beef continues. Even though Elon Musk apparently is now deleting tweets and stuff. Me and James are going to talk about it tomorrow on the Derp State at 9 o'clock. But it's so funny to me that Trump's like, this is like some, just like a high school tiff. You know what I mean? Between two rich kids that nobody likes. I'm going to get rid, he gave me this gift. I'm just going to get rid of this gift. I don't know, show him. But yeah, so Trump is now going to get rid of the Tesla that Musk gave him, or gave the White House, as a result of all of this. I mean, come on, dude. This is so petty and stupid. But this is what we're dealing with. Yeah. High school feuds and stupid people. Unbelievable. So we'll talk about this more tomorrow. Me and James will, because this is hilarious. This is, to me, this is absolutely hilarious. James was right. Actually, it was Scott Besant, I believe. I don't know. I believe it's verified now who got in the physical altercation and gave Musk the black eye. So that's that happened. That's hilarious. There's actual fights breaking out. It is literally a high school. It's like watching this episode of the Jersey Shore, but it's our government. Isn't that crazy? That's insane. I watched this video of Bernie Sanders. I thought we could maybe watch a little bit of it. It's actually on Senator Bernie Sanders' YouTube page. Actually, I should subscribe to it while I'm here. He explains the big beautiful bill, which he does a good job of it. I like Bernie Sanders. I don't agree with all his positions, but he is one of those people I feel that has the interest of all Americans at heart. He's also somebody that's never enriched himself by using his position like a lot of these people do. Like, he's only worth like a few $100,000. He's not a millionaire or a billionaire. So he's never really used his position to actually enrich himself. But he does a good job of explaining this stuff, and he does have his own YouTube channel. I highly recommend checking it out. 904,000 subscribers. God damn, dude. Doing a good job. And then we'll go into some other stuff here. But let me play just a little bit of this.
With me.
It's good information.
As many of you know, the U.S. House of Representatives recently passed the so-called reconciliation bill by a vote of 215 to 214, a one-vote margin. Every Democrat voted against this bill. Almost every Republican voted for it. In the coming weeks, the U.S. Senate is expected to take the bill up. Let me take this opportunity to tell you what is in this piece of legislation. At a time of massive income and wealth inequality, this bill makes the obscenely rich, the oligarchs, even richer, while attacking the most basic needs of working families and the most vulnerable people in our society. This bill provides massive tax breaks to the richest people and largest corporations and pays for them by making gigantic cuts to Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, nutrition, education, and other programs that are life and death for working families, the children, and the elderly. This bill is what Trump economics is all about.
Yeah, so like I said, it's like 10 minutes long. I don't want to get dinged for like copyright or whatever, but he does a good job of explaining, you know, I mean, it is exactly what it is. It helps the rich and only the rich. It doesn't help us, the American people, at all. This bill is a living, breathing, just nightmare and it's 1,100 pages long. And the fact that they rushed it through in the middle of the night, specifically so, well, most of them that wouldn't read it anyway, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, we weren't expecting her to read it. Lauren Boebert, come on, you weren't expecting her to read 1,000 pages? Please. But they intentionally rushed it through in the middle of the night so it would not be read, But now people are coming out, like Marjorie Taylor Greene is the second person to come out and I'll be like, I didn't even read the bill. I don't support this. Well, you dumbass, you voted for it. What is with you Republicans, like voting first and then asking questions later? Like, you guys did the shit with the election. You voted for Trump, and then you guys started Googling what the fuck a tariff is. How about look stuff up before you vote? It's a crazy concept, I know, but it actually makes sense. In reality, where we live, you don't vote based on emotion and whatever belief you have. You vote on... You look stuff up, you verify information, and then you vote based on that. Jesus, our country is so broken right now. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Oh, yeah. So moving on from Bernie Sanders. But I think Bernie Sanders is, he's a socialist, which people say, ooh, socialism bad. No. Okay, yes, there are bad forms of socialism. I mean, obviously capitalism isn't all that great either. Okay, obviously, it's not working very well for most of us, so I don't think capitalism is the answer either. Maybe a mix of the two. Why can't that happen? Why can't we make something new? A socialistic or a socialistic capitalistic society. I don't know how that would work, but there's ways to make it where people get. I mean, what's wrong with getting something from the government? Why is it bad for the government to help the American people, but it's good for the government to help the billionaires and the businesses, the corporations? They get all the tax breaks and all the help and all the bailouts. That's okay. That's capitalism. But when we get help, oh no, that's socialism. That's bad. It's like people have been programmed to think that getting handouts from the government is embarrassing. Like, you know what I mean? And I used to feel that type of way because, like, at one point in my life, I had to be on food stamps for me and my family when I was a single parent. I had 2 kids. You know what I mean? I had full custody of my kids since they were 8 and 10. I ended up losing my job. We were on food stamps. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing at first, but after a while, I realized, like, this isn't a bad thing. Like, why shouldn't the government help? We should have universal health care. We should have universal income, for people making under a certain amount of money. Everybody should get a universal basic wage. We could have that right now. There's enough money in this country to do that shit right now. But we don't, because people like Trump and his administration continue to take the money and elevate it upwards, as opposed to letting it come down to the rest of us, to us little people. And then you have this here, because I talked about this before, and I think I know what the purpose of Doge was to steal the information, and then give it to Peter Thiel and Palantir, so they can create this technocratic monarchy where they monitor us in real time. And Donald Trump's on board with that. So Doge stole the information. That's what the whole purpose was. It's not even at this point allegedly. We know for a fact that they just siphoned out massive quantities of information. And now they're going to hand it all over to Peter Thiel and Palantir so they can keep it all under one roof and monitor us in real time using AI and algorithms and all that shit. What if they get access to CCTV cameras you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the limit to this? But the Supreme Court has allowed Doge to access Social Security data. So for anybody out there that was worried about this, it's happening. The Supreme Court permitted the government agency focused on efficiency to gain access to Social Security databases containing sensitive information about millions of Americans. This ruling overturned a Maryland judge's order that restricted Doge's access due to federal privacy laws concerns that followed a Trump administration appeal to the High Court. Now all of our information is, in fact, compromised. All of it. They have it all. I wouldn't be surprised if they have our bank information. I mean, we know for a fact they have our social media. They're the ones running all this, like Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, what's his name? What's that cuck's name that runs Facebook? Zuckerberg? Zuck the cuck? Yeah. I mean, they have all our social media information. So now they want to just put it all under one roof with Peter Thiel. And I don't know about this whole. I think the breakup with Elon Musk is real at this point. I don't think Elon Musk really knows what he's doing at this point, all the drugs and stuff that he's on. So a lot of those tweets that he posted were probably on while he was on a bender. Yes, this is worrying me. And now Elon Musk is talking about starting his own political party, and it's getting out of hand. This country is on fire, quite literally on fire. Israel's decimating Gaza. Ukraine is about to get hit by Russia, and Donald Trump is attacking Americans for protesting. Peacefully protesting, according to LAPD. That's according to LAPD. Also, speaking of Israel, Israel vows to prevent an aid boat carrying Greta Thunberg and other activists from reaching Gaza. These people are trying to they're on a ship currently, on their way to Gaza. And Israel is going to stop them. They may actually attack them. Don't be surprised to hear that Greta Thunberg died in an attack against this ship. I would not be surprised one bit. They've already posted videos on social media saying that there have been drones over the ship and in front of the ship. So this is intensifying, and I would not put it past Israel and these Zionists, which are basically just the MAGA of Judaism, to attack an aid boat because they don't want aid going to Gaza. They want people of Gaza to just be, not to exist anymore. That's what Israel wants. That's what the U.S. is protecting. Our government is protecting that. All right, so moving on. We're going to talk about this whole situation going on in L.A. because it's getting out of hand. It truly is getting out of hand. I want to play some videos. First, I want to play a video of what Donald Trump is doing. Was doing during this entire thing. So he apparently has not officially declared martial law or invoked the Insurrection Act. Okay, so there's a lot of confusion. So if he in fact did not invoke the Insurrection Act, did he illegally order the National Guard and illegally federalize the National Guard to send them into LA? Like, there's a lot of confusion coming out of the White House right now. So we thought he declared martial law, but now they're saying, a couple people saying that he never invoked the Insurrection Act. So we don't know what the hell is going on. But this was what Captain Dipshit was doing while LA protesters are being attacked by ICE. If they want to call it an insurrection, like I knew the moment we were in trouble when I saw this tweet. Where is it? Oh, do I have it pulled up? Yeah. The moment I saw this tweet, I knew we were in trouble. This was yesterday afternoon. An insurrection against the laws yesterday morning. Stephen Miller, Donald Trump's right-hand Nazi, called this an insurrection against the laws and sovereignty of the United States. As soon as I saw that, I knew we were in trouble. I knew that moment we were in trouble. And of course, this is the video he's showing, which is peaceful protesters. They're calling this an insurrection. Okay, this is the what they're using to justify shooting rubber bullets and salt pellets at people. And Stephen Miller has been on a posting rampage. Biden invasion. Like, he's just reposting and posting. This is a violent insurrection. Like, this never would have happened if you wouldn't have sent ICE into LA, dude. Had you not sent ICE in with military vehicles, full tactical gear, and a goddamn Black Hawk helicopter, maybe people wouldn't have got scared and freaked the fuck out and fought back. You know what I mean? Maybe we just don't like how you're doing this, and that's why we're fighting back. So I knew that from this moment we were in serious trouble when Stephen Miller called it an insurrection, because he's the one in Donald Trump's ear being like, hey, buddy, you need to do this. You need to invoke the Insurrection Act. They've been wanting to do it since day one. Guys, day one. All right, so we're going to go into some live footage too and see what's going on in the LA riots as we speak. LA riots, LA protests. When I say riots, I mean like ICE. ICE are the insurrectionists. Once again, I would like to know if there are any of the J6ers being hired by ICE. I would like to know that. My video on TikTok got taken down because I was saying that if we're paying our tax dollars to go towards Donald Trump's personal army, we deserve to know who the fuck they are. And Hakeem and Jeffrey said the same thing. We need to know who these people are. Why are they covering their faces? You know, if you're making America safer, you think these people will want to be recognized, right? But no, that's not how this works. So anyway, here's what Donald Trump was doing. He was attending a UFC fight. So I have him walking in. I'll play the video. I had to delete the audio and add my own just because it was Kid Rock. And every time I play a video, I get dinged for copyright problems. So we can just talk while it plays. Oh, yep. Sorry about that. And yeah, so he just yeah, my bad. He's just walking into the walking into the UFC fight here and just kind of. Okay, so that's what he was doing. I couldn't obviously use Kid Rock's music, so I had to use my own. But yeah, that's what he was doing. He was at a UFC fight, sicking the military on the American people while he prepares for his own military parade. And then he goes to a UFC fight on taxpayer expense, at the taxpayer expense. Isn't that crazy? Like, that's absolutely mind-blowing to me that we are paying for this shit. Everything you see him doing is on taxpayers. He's not paying for anything out of his own pocket. That blows me away. But here's Tom Homan, the border czar, threatening public officials now. They're actually threatening public officials. He calls out Hakeem Jeffries. He calls out the mayor of L.A., and this is dangerous when they start talking about arresting public officials. Like I said
many times, these elected officials or these non-government organizations, they can't cross the line either. I mean, we got people like Hakeem Jeffries saying he's going to dox ICE employees. ICE agents out there with masks on. They're wearing masks to protect themselves.
He never said dox, okay? Seeing their faces is not doxing them.
And their families, because they've been doxxed, their families been doxxed, their life's been threatened, their families have been threatened. I know myself, I had over 1,000 protesters at my house. I expect that as the borders are, but these men and women are putting their lives online every day. They arrested a lot of bad people yesterday and today. They arrested child sex offenders. They arrested people convicted of robbery.
What?
They arrested public safety, not only significant public safety threats, but national security threats. They arrested
national security threats. Yeah, okay, Tom. Okay, Tom. It gets worse. Like, he's just throwing shit out there at this point.
Gang members. We're making Los Angeles safer.
This is making Los Angeles safer, he says. This is unleashing an army on Los Angeles is somehow making it safer. And Donald Trump's only been in office 4 months, so how much training could these new agents possibly have in crowd control, riot prevention, de-escalating hostile situations? How much training could these ICE agents, these new ones, possibly have? I mean, what is do you just fill out an application on like fucking Craigslist and just say, I hate brown people and I love Trump, and then they hand you a tactical uniform, bulletproof vest, gas mask, paintball guns, and a Black Hawk helicopter too? Like, is that how it works?
And Mayor Bass ought to be thanking us for making her city safer. And the term migrant, as Joe Concha rightfully said earlier, they're illegal aliens. There are illegal aliens in this country, and we welcome. We're the most giving country in the world. But
what?
These are illegal aliens who committed a crime by crossing this border illegally. Then yes,
civil crime. You fucking dipshit. Civil crossing the border illegally is not even a freaking felony. It is literally a civil matter. Okay? There is no reason to send somebody to jail or to treat them like freaking animals because they came across our border illegally. Okay? Civil matter. You don't need to send an army after people over a misdemeanor, essentially. That's crazy. That's crazy. But here's where it gets worse. Tom Homan is a real piece of shit. Tom Homan is a real piece of shit. Because I found this article, and this is not being talked about enough, okay? But there are private citizens, like militia groups, at the southern border that are self-deporting, where they're taking it upon themselves to deport migrants. And Tom Homan wants to deputize these fucking people. I don't know how this is not being talked about enough, but I found this article in the New Yorker. The private citizens who want to help Trump deport migrants. For years, the right-wing civilians have eagerly patrolled the border. Tom Homan, Trump's border czar, has hinted that he might enlist their help. Private morons from Texas with guns and way too much time on their hands. He wants to deputize these people. People are going to get killed. People are going to get killed. I'm surprised we haven't heard of any deaths as a result of this LA shit yet. But people are going to die as a result of Donald Trump. Americans, people are dying across the world already because of USAID cuts. All right, let me talk about this real quick. Christy Hutcherson, the right-wing activist. How is that a thing? You can't be an activist on the right wing. It doesn't even make sense. Who are you fighting for? All right, who founded the organization Women Fighting for America? Jesus Christ. Describes herself as a national security expert, of course, and an authority on immigration. She often films herself in aviator sunglasses and hoop earrings, speaking to her online followers from the U.S.-Mexico border and showing her viewers distant figures who she claims are cartel members, of course, because they're brown people, of course, they're cartel members, to the MAGA. Through the Department of Homeland Security, though the Department of Homeland Security has recently said that border crossings are at an all-time low, Hutchinson's diagnosis on the state of immigration are apocalyptic. Anytime you have an influx like this, it eventually collapses the society. I believe that's part of the plan. Holy fuck. And they want to deputize somebody like this. Like this. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. They want to deputize people like this. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So she's armed and surveys the area wearing night vision goggles. Jesus Christ. You know, I realize today we don't have an immigration problem in the United States. We have a Nazi problem. We have a Nazi problem. It's MAGA. They're the problem. MAGA is the problem. Our society would be better off if we just gave them Texas, built a wall around it, and made Trump king of Texas. They could name it whatever the fuck they want. They could call it Magadonia or whatever. We'll even let them name like the little part of the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America, just to shut them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we'll even pay for the wall. I guarantee Americans would be like, yeah, I'll donate to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll take all the people that don't like this stuff out of Texas. We'll help them move. We'll give them back to Texas, and we'll build a wall around it. Problem solved. And then they can fight amongst themselves. So give it like 6 months, and then we could just go back in and clean up and take back Texas. Because they would just destroy themselves. They would. But yeah, Tom Homan is considering deputizing private citizens that have no training in this whatsoever. They're just zealots with guns that want to, treat people like animals and be racist. That's all this is. That's all this is. But I can't believe they're actually talking about it. The fact that they're talking about it is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. So Trump did deploy the National Guard. Supposedly, I think they have showed up now. Because at the time that he declared his, I want to congratulate the National Guard, like they hadn't even showed up yet. So I'm not really sure what's going on right now. We're getting a lot of different reporting. So he said he would deploy the 2,000 National Guard troops yesterday. face off against a few hundred demonstrators. So, yeah, a few hundred demonstrators are getting a little rowdy. Rightfully so, the way they're being treated. And he wants to send the military again. You know, he won't stand up against Putin. He won't stand up against any other country. But as soon as we get a little bit rowdy, this motherfucker wants to go ahead and turn the military on us. You know what, you fucking coward. You little, tiny little man, you. And then to find out today, Donald Trump actually diverted missiles that were intended for Ukraine under the Biden administration. They were already promised to Ukraine. He diverted them to the Middle East as part of his little bribery deal that he did with them. Watch the video. Zelensky verified it today that there was like 20,000 missiles that Ukraine was supposed to get from us to help fight against Russia. Jeanette, thank you so much for the Danish kroners. Appreciate your support. But yeah, so he diverted all these missiles from going to Ukraine to help fight against Russia, which helps Russia. And he took them instead. He gave them to somebody over in the Middle East as part of some kind of deal that he made. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So if Ukraine falls, you can partially thank Donald Trump. Actually, you can largely thank Donald Trump as a result. I mean, it's sad to see our country devolve into this in such a short period of time. But that is the world we live in now. Hopefully it doesn't get worse, but I think, unfortunately, it will. Before it gets better. I think it'll get better, but unfortunately, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. So Gavin Newsom is obviously against this. Most Americans should be against this. Some MAGA is cheering this shit on. I'll show you a video in a post, and I'm going to just give you a trigger warning, okay? This is very disturbing. But this is MAGA celebrating. This is a person they call it a left-wing protester. So they're happy about a left-wing protester who tried to block an ICE vehicle. I'll play the video for you here in a second. ICE damn near runs this guy over. They actually pin him under the front of the car, and then they leave him in the street. And this piece of shit at Jack Unheard, LMAO, is his response to an American getting run over by its government. Literally run over by its government, not metaphorically. Literally run over by his government. Okay, so I'm going to show you the video, but this is what he says here. A left-wing protester tried to block an ICE SUV transporting illegals and got run over in the process.
We started seeing some sort of smoke to help try and keep those people from the gate here. Okay, so here we are. We're in the middle of the street here. You can see one person trying to stand right in front of this SUV here, but it's just such a dangerous situation here. And it's really not going to do him any good to be standing there and possibly get ran over by agents. So here they are. They're on 9th Street now. Crowd is running alongside with these vehicles. And I'd pretty much guarantee that this SUV is not going to stop. Someone throwing, looks like,
wow.
All right, let me widen out here. Okay, so we saw some eggs being thrown at the vehicle. Now he is just, partly ran over by that SUV.
Doesn't even get out to check on him. That's a hit and run. That's a hit and run. Anybody else would be in jail. Anybody else would be in jail. But ICE gets away with shit like this. Okay? You guys just witnessed ICE run over somebody. Okay? Where's the accountability? Why is this not being talked about? ICE just almost killed an American, ran him over, and didn't even get out of the fucking vehicle to check on him to see if he's okay. This is why we want to know who you are, you sons of bitches. This is why we want to know who you are. And we're going to find out eventually. And just to know, we're going to treat you accordingly. That's all I can say on the internet, but your day will come. Your day will come. I promise you. We will expose every single one of you. I think, though, that they're scared. ICE, I think, is not ready for this because they're not trained for this. They're not. They thought they were going to go in and show. They're trying to do the show of force to get everybody to back down. Once they realized everybody's not backing down, they started doing pellets the salt pellets, which if you guys don't know, they basically like paintballs. It's like what do you call it? Tear gas, but they're pellets. So they just explode when they hit you, and they shoot them at the road, and it just fills a cloud of nasty shit in the air. So everybody that's walking by in this area is getting a mouthful of this like tear gas shit. They're also using rubber bullets, but I think just based on this statement I read from Todd Lyons, the director of ICE, the acting director of ICE, I think ICE is scared because LA, come on, man, LA. They don't even know what they got themselves into, man. Okay, LA's different, y'all. LA's different. But this is a statement from This is right off of ice.gov. This was yesterday's statement, okay, from acting director Todd Lyons. What took place in Los Angeles yesterday was appalling. As rioters attacked federal ICE and law enforcement officers on the streets of LA, Mayor Bass took the side of chaos and lawlessness over law enforcement. Our brave officers were vastly outnumbered as over 1,000 rioters surrounded and attacked the federal building. It took over 2 hours for the LA Police Department to respond, despite being called multiple times. The brave men and women of ICE were in Los Angeles arresting criminal illegal aliens, including gang members, drug traffickers, and those with a history of assault, cruelty to children, domestic violence, robbery, and smuggling. These violent rioters will be held accountable if they harm federal officers. And make no mistake, ICE will continue to enforce our nation's immigration laws and arrest criminal illegal aliens. Sanctuary politicians would do well to remember that impeding our efforts will only endanger their communities, law enforcement officers, blah, blah, blah. To me, this sounds like they're scared. I think they have no idea what they're doing. I think they have no idea what they're doing, and they are now in the find out stage of this. Because we're going to see here in a second, because I want to take a look. But it's so bad now that Donald Trump is posed, because he runs the country from Truth Social. He's now making it illegal for people to wear masks at protests. Like, shut up, dude. One, you have absolutely no authority to do that. And two, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, these people are scared. Okay? They thought they were they thought they were going to come in and everybody was going to back off because they look tough. And they all have their tactical gear on and their guns. And they are finding out that we are not taking this shit. Okay, the peaceful resistance is over. You have pushed us into revolution. Congratulations, Donald Trump. You have officially started the Second American Revolution. Or the Second American Civil War. One or the other. Well, take your pick. But Donald Trump, thanks to you and your incessant, I don't know what you want to call it, obsession with being a dictator or a king, you have pissed us off to the point where we tried to say we're not having this shit, and you didn't listen. Okay, so again, I'm not making threats, but the next logical step, historically speaking, is revolution. After resistance fails, and politics fails, then there is only one next logical step, and this is it. Okay, revolution, and it's starting in Los Angeles as a result of ICE. ICE caused this. Okay? Trump caused this. LAPD said they were peacefully protesting until ICE started fucking with them. Okay? So I don't want to hear nothing about this is an insurrection, because that's what the right wants it to be. Okay? If they respond with violence, it's because their whole communities are being assaulted. Not just one individual. Their entire communities are being assaulted by military-style raids. Yeah, respond appropriately. Because these have to be illegal. There's no way this is legal, what they're doing. But nobody's holding them accountable. Nobody's holding them accountable. So ICE is freaked out. Let's see what's happening on the streets of LA right now. I got a couple different live feeds up. All right, so this is NBC News, so we can watch. Holy shit. Oh, wow. This is what we need. Like thousands and tens of thousands of millions of people in the streets. This is what we need. They want to show us force, and we're going to show them that we don't give a fuck because we outnumber you. There are 20,000 ICE agents across the country. That's it. Even active duty military, not that many of them. And I don't even know how many of them would actually follow in order to attack actual people of America. You know what I mean? Because they're military. I hope you guys remember your oath, but your oath is to protect the United States of America, not to attack it. Okay? Maybe look at the coward of a president that we had that won't even send troops over to Ukraine to help stop Russia, won't even send rockets over to Russia or to Ukraine to help stop Russia, but he's perfectly happy using you, young, impressionable military personnel, against your own people that you're supposed to be protecting. God, I mean, even if the LAPD is saying that this is peaceful, then it's peaceful, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? But look at this. I don't see a riot. I see people just hanging out with signs and protesting. But this is what we need, man. Donald Trump does not know what he started. He does not know what he started, y'all. He just started a revolution, but it's against him. And he's going to lose. And I think this is going to send a cold shiver down every Republican's spine, watching everybody in the community stand up and not be afraid. Like, you guys, we have to be out in the streets. That's why I wanted to talk about No King's Day, because Donald Trump's birthday is only 6 days away. And we know he's doing a military parade. They're sending military vehicles, wasting taxpayer money, again, on himself. On himself, okay? Nobody asked for this parade. Nobody did. He wanted it for himself. He's not doing it to honor the military because he doesn't give a shit about us, veterans or active duty. He never has. Not a single Trump, not a single male Trump has served in the United States military. Not one. So he's going to I guarantee this parade is going to be over the top and all about him. I guarantee it's going to be all about Trump. Very little to do honoring the military. So we'll just wait and see. But based on things I overheard at the rally I was at a couple days ago, do not go to D.C. on that day, because there may be Proud Boys and Oath Keepers in the crowd trying to instigate shit on purpose. So stay away from D.C. on that day. As a matter of fact, boycott the entire thing. Don't watch it. Don't, tell your friends not to watch it. Don't go to it. But there is going to be protests all over the country on No King's Day. So go to your state capital or look on your local 5051. 5051 has reached to a lot of smaller communities like mine. I live in a city of 35,000. I was going to go to Atlantic City on the 14th, but unfortunately I had a little disagreement with the organizers of, or not the organizers, but the leaders of that group. So we're not going to be working with them anymore, unfortunately. This is stupid, but whatever. So, yeah, we're going to focus our efforts. I'm going to do local community stuff and anything else I can get into. Now that we officially have media credentials on our resume, I'm hoping to do a lot more on-location stuff. I'm hoping we're able to get some guests that we've never had before. I've talked to Fred Wellman about getting introduced to Ken Harbaugh from Midas Touch. So that would be amazing. So a lot of good things are happening for the show. But again, we couldn't have done all this without you guys. And I've been to 7 protests this year. I've live streamed all 7 of them. I'll be in my local Williamsport one here, protesting on No King's Day, or I'm going to go to my state capital, because my state capital is only like an hour and 40 minutes from where I'm at. So I may go to the state capital just to be in a large part of a larger event. And I figured out how to multi-stream from my device, so I can now stream on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube at the same time to get the protest out there. Because usually when I do a mobile broadcast, it's only on YouTube, and it's a pain in the ass, because YouTube, I'm sorry, but your mobile shit sucks. Your mobile live sucks. So Streamlabs has an app. So now I'm going to be using the app, which will allow me to multi-stream on different platforms on location. And I'm also talking to my local mayor about a couple of ideas that I have. So there's a lot of good things coming, guys. Don't be too upset about this, because what I'm seeing, this is good. This is good. People from all different communities are coming together, and they're standing up to ICE. And I think ICE is afraid. Look at this. Dude, ICE can't. What are they going to do? Arrest all these people? They don't have enough personnel. They have no, unless they start just, taking Americans out. Once the blood starts spilling, that's going to make it worse for Trump, because that's really when people are going to lose their minds. But right now, this is peaceful. This is a peaceful protest. I don't see them attacking the cops. I see a lot of people just standing around to shut the streets down, man. Do it. Disruption. That's what revolution is about. Disruption. Revolution is not about violence. It is about disrupting their plan at all costs. Yes, there are risks. Yes, we put our safety out there every time I go to an event. But we have to. They want us to back down. That's the problem. They want us to back down. Let me look and see if there's any other. All right, this is Times of India. Oh, shit. Got cars burning in the streets. Let me turn on the audio. Sorry, let me mute that one. Oh, nice. They're in front of the fucking VA loading dock. You're using the VA as, yeah, amazing. They want to cut VA services, but now they want to use it as a staging area for their stupid ass. Let me go see if we can go live. Go live. Here we go. Sorry, man. This is what we need, guys. I'm not going to condemn this. This is what we need. This is revolution. You're witnessing it. The beginning of it. I love how this shit is just popping off. Nobody's even twitching. They're all like, whatever, bro. This is LA. We're used to this shit. That's crazy, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I can't condemn this. This is what we need. Okay, burn a few cars. Whatever. I'm not gonna apply. Yeah, I'm not. We have to show them somehow. Obviously, they're not going to listen to the words we say, so we have to obviously show them that we're not going to put up with this. So, obviously the Trump administration enjoys learning shit the hard way. Yeah, they're raiding Home Depots and shit. Oh, watch this. Watch this. Oh, shit, watch this. Yeah, this is the part. This is the part right here. When they start spraying people and hitting people. I believe this is from earlier. This isn't live right now. But look at ICE just backed up against the wall. They don't know what to do. They're scared. They don't know what they're doing. Love it. Love it. Sorry, I do. But this is great. I like this. This is what scares Trump. This is why they want to keep us divided, because they know unified we're a threat. Divided we're weak. But they keep pushing us. We're going to find reasons to come together. And then once we do, it's a wrap for them. Once the entire country, including a lot of people that voted for Trump, start unifying like this, the administration is all but done. The only worst part about it is, like, if they get rid of Donald Trump, then, oh well, then we still have J.D. Vance to deal with. We still have Mike Johnson and all of them to deal with, you know what I'm saying? And who does he make the vice president? So it's not like we have any outcomes where things are going to be better. There are rumors of lawsuits going forward regarding the past election, but I don't really know what to make of that. We do have somebody that has been following the Election Truth Alliance very closely coming on the show next Tuesday. So that's exciting. She has a lot of information on that because they're demanding recounts, especially in Pennsylvania. They're demanding hand recounts. And I agree. I've accepted that we lost the election, but it doesn't mean that I don't find it odd that Donald Trump, one of the worst president in United States history, won all 7 swing states. The last Republican to do that was Ronald Reagan. Obama did it. He was way more popular than Donald Trump. Well, I guess if you count vote, he got less votes than Donald Trump, but at the same time, less people were of voting age at the time. But he won all 7 swing states. And I swear there was a moment, because Mike and I streamed the whole thing live. I should have kept the episode. I deleted it the next day because I was so freaking pissed that Donald Trump won. We were watching it, and Kamala Harris was winning. But there was a moment, a very specific moment that night, late in the night, where everything turned red, almost at the same time. And I just have never gotten over that moment. I watched it happen live. I sit here and watch the blue turn to red on almost all the 7 swing states, and almost all at the same time. I wish I could find that because we were watching a live news feed. I can't remember what channel it was, or I'd go back and try and find it. But I've never been fully convinced that something happened with the election. I mean, we know Elon Musk is going scorched earth. Maybe he'll turn and maybe he'll end up being a whistleblower against Trump in the end. Who knows? Who knows at this point, right? Will he come out and fully admit that he helped Donald Trump? Oh, you guys know they installed Starlink at the White House? Despite everybody saying it's not secure. Don't do it. They let Elon Musk install Starlink at the White House. So the White House is completely compromised at this point. Chances are Russia or another country that hates our guts is in there somehow, watching, listening. It's out of control, guys. It's out of control. And we have people, like I showed you in this video, we have people on the right cheering when a left-wing protester, not an immigrant, not an illegal, dangerous immigrant, an American protester that just happens to be against Donald Trump. They're happy to see people get run over by cars, by ICE. And again, we saw a video. What we witnessed was a hit and run. That's a felony. Crossing the border, misdemeanor. Running over United States citizens, actually running over anybody, felony. Leaving the scene of a crime, also, I think, a felony. If not another crime, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just witnessed a crime committed by ICE, a hit and run. They ran over a guy almost, pinned him under the front of the car, and then left. You know what? We're going to watch it again because I want it to sink in. What we just witnessed right here. This is ICE literally almost killing an American with their car. Unbelievable. Boop. Probably severely injured. And then the ICE agent in the what appears to be a white Dodge Durango leaves while the man is still on the floor. That was a crime. That's a crime. That's a felony right there. Hit and run, felony. Crossing the border, misdemeanor. I hate every one of you that voted for this. I hate every one of you that voted for this. I'll never forgive you. I'll never forgive you. I hope you realize you made a mistake at some point. Great. That's on you, though, but don't expect us to try and waste our time convincing you otherwise. You made your choices. Like, I just want to understand why some of these right or left-wing content creators are like, oh, we need these people to come over to our side. No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't need Nazis on our side. Okay, they can stay. They go wherever they want. I don't care. I don't care if they vote Democrat or if they don't vote ever again. I don't give a shit. But I'm not wasting my time on these people anymore. We need to concentrate on younger people that have not voted yet and are going to be voting. They are vitally important to our country's future. And we also need to vote, or we also need to focus on the people that did not vote at all and try and get them more involved and, you know, make them realize like this is the consequences of not voting. You know, this is what could possibly happen. But a lot of people were under the impression that this can never happen in America. Well, obviously they were wrong. Obviously this is happening. Yeah. Amazing, right? Get rid of that guy. All right. Anyway, so like I was saying, though, according to, I don't know if I have the article. Let me see if I still have the article. Trump says a lot of wear masks. I thought I sent it. Maybe I didn't send it. Hold up. If not, I can look it up. Oh, it was stuck in my my outbox. There we go. Oh, this is Trump falling on Air Force One. Ha 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 ha. Oh, Biden can't walk. I'll just let it play over and over again in the background. This is perfect. I should use this as B-roll for all my shows. Just piss the MAGAs off, let it play in the background. But yeah, so according to insiders, though, in the White House, he has now officially declared martial law. He's signed a couple of executive orders, but so far as I know, he has not officially invoked the Insurrection Act. But it's not going to end well for him. They're getting so desperate. This is their last line of hope. They want to do, like I said, they want to do a show of force, hoping that everybody will back down, and it's actually having the opposite effect. It's actually causing people to rise up. Which is good. It's about freaking time. Like, we should have been doing this 4 months ago. But better late than ever, I guess. But we got to get people on board with the fact that our entire country, our entire way of life is at risk. All of it. All of it. And this guy is just on True Social posted like a freaking psychopath. The guy who says Biden can't walk up steps. Oops, one more time. Oh God. Oh no. So let's go to Truth Social. Yep, they banned AP News because they won't call it Gulf of America. He's butthurt about that. He hasn't posted much today. I don't know what's going on, but let me see if he's posted recently. But when I pull this up, his last post is 16 hours ago. His last post was 16 hours ago. That is really rare for Donald Trump. It was at 2:41 in the morning. Why is the 80-year-old man up at 2 and 3 in the morning? Drugs. Anyway, was his last post. Okay, this was the post I was talking about. He says, a great job by the National Guard in Los Angeles after 2 days of violence, clashes, and unrest. We have an incompetent Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass, in parentheses, who were, as usual, in parentheses, just look at how they handled the fires. Oh my God, these people are stupid. Unable to handle the tasks, these radical left protests by instigators and often paid Trump. Here we go. Here we go. Democrats are paying left-wing people to protest. Democrats are paying us. Okay, this is almost as bad as the Biden is a robot post. Like, somebody needs to check on him. Is Donald Trump even alive right now? Do we even know what his status is? Because I think his brain is officially gone. He thinks that people are being paid to commit violent acts. Who thinks like that? Who? This is the president of our country saying that we're out there instigating violence and being paid troublemakers. Paid troublemakers. I don't even know what that means. I'd love to be a paid troublemaker. Do you guys know where I could find the job application to be a paid troublemaker? Yeah, that's what a weave looks like in print. Exactly. It's so hard to read Donald Trump posts because they're all over the place. And he capitalizes random words and inserts commas. And there's an entire sentence in parentheses. But anyway, the funny part about this is when he posted this, the National Guard had not even showed up in Los Angeles yet. And as I'm looking at these videos, I mean, I don't see the National Guard anywhere. Do you guys? I see cops. I don't see National Guard at all. So once again, Donald Trump is lying. His entire world is falling apart. Like, everything is falling apart. And this is their last ditch effort to try and push their agenda, their fascist agenda. And obviously the people of America, thank God, still have some fire in them and are standing up to this. Like, look at this. This is thousands of people in LA just out just because of what Trump is doing. These people would normally be home chilling right now. But because ICE decided to invade LA, probably illegally, I can't imagine what they're doing is illegal. He has caused random people that probably wouldn't even be involved in this stuff to come out in the streets and unite. I love seeing this. And I don't see a lot of violence. I don't see a lot of violence. As a matter of fact, most of the violence I've seen has been perpetuated by ICE agents. Tear gas, rubber bullets, shooting salt pellets. See, that's... Nice. This is great. Yeah, so don't be upset, don't be sad. Executive orders, one, are not law. And again, we far outnumber the billionaires, we far outnumber ICE agents, we even far outnumber the military. And I don't think it's going to come to the point where the military would actually turn on us. I don't think that would ever happen. I don't. ICE, though, on the other hand, is Donald Trump's personal Gestapo. They're an untrained, very untrained army that has a lot of funding and a lot of military equipment that they're probably not even properly trained on using. I'm pretty sure, okay? Because it's only been 4 months and they're hiring. Obviously, they're hiring people from, because the video I got taken down on TikTok is the one where I pointed out an obvious white nationalist tattoo, a white supremacy tattoo on an ICE agent. So they're obviously hiring people that have white supremacist beliefs, possibly Proud Boys, possibly Oath Keepers, possibly Patriot Front. They're militarizing MAGA through ICE. That is what they're doing. And Donald Trump can't control the military because there are generals, and there is a uniform code of military justice that they have to abide by if they take their oath serious, which most officers do. However, ICE, on the other hand, is run by people like Tom Homan and Stephen Miller and Donald Trump. And they have a lot of money. And if the big, beautiful bill gets passed, they will have a blank check. And they will be Donald Trump's personal army. They will be a very advanced military police force, a militarized police force, on top of the fact that they're trying to surveil us now. All you dipshits that said, I'm voting against the deep state. You just created the deep state. You helped create it. It wasn't a real thing before, okay? It was a conspiracy theory before, but you've actually helped make it a reality. Monitoring us in real time, which includes you, MAGA, the ones that voted for this. That includes you. They're going to monitor you as well. Okay. But again, there are Trump supporters out there that are happy that ICE is attacking other Americans just because they didn't vote for Trump. Like, if you didn't vote for Trump, they see you as the enemy. And that is a problem. Okay, we're not the enemy. Okay, we're your neighbors. Why do you hate Americans so bad? Why do you hate democracy and freedom for all? I don't understand why you hate that so much. I truly feel like they see me and my buddy talked about this. Like, they see somebody getting like food stamps or medical assistance, and they don't get it, so they automatically hate that person and don't feel they should get it because they don't get it. It's a very narrow-minded way of thinking, and they have a very narrow-minded view on the world as well. They don't know how things work at all, and they get all their information from Twitter and Fox News and Donald Trump, which is also a problem. But I love seeing this. Look, they're just blocking the cops, blocking ICE agents. What's ICE going to do? What are they going to do? Unless they want to kill all of us, what are they going to do? Okay? You want to see blood? You want to see blood? You want to see a second American Revolution? One of these ICE agents accidentally shoots a protester? We will demolish ICE. Guaranteed. It'll be a nationwide revolution against ICE. You'll be the targets, ICE. ICE agents, hello. You're making yourself a target because you're turning an entire country against you. The entire country hates ICE, except for MAGA, of course. They love it. But the entire country, people that didn't vote, people that probably never thought about voting in their entire lives, are now out in these streets right now in LA, standing up for their neighbors and their community. This is what we need, y'all, in the streets. That's why No King's Day is so important. We need millions of people, tens of millions of people across the country to be out in the streets against what happened or what's happening right now. That's the only way these people are going to listen. We have to be louder and louder and louder until we just leave ringing in their ears. You know what I'm saying? Like, we cannot stop. We cannot back down. We cannot be intimidated. We will not be intimidated. And we have to fight. So No King's Day is right around the corner, y'all. Make plans. Like I said, I'm either going to do locally in my hometown because I like broadcasting from small town America just so people can see that it has reached us too. You don't have to travel a lot of times to protest now. You can do it right in your hometown. Look up local, your 5051 has a lot of places or a lot of contacts now in local communities, and they're posting their events online. A lot of people are looking for help organizing events. You can participate in helping organize protests too. Get involved in your local protest community. Get activated, man. It's time to be in the streets. Okay, so I will be in the streets again on the 14th, if not sooner. I will be live streaming either from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, or from my small town of Williamsport. One or the other. Of course, I will be bringing it all to you. My microphones worked really well during the protest. I'm really happy with those. So I bought those thanks to your donations. The tripod worked really well. The only thing I can think is I need dedicated streaming cameras because my phone is overheating like crazy doing all this. And when it overheats, it doesn't hold a charge and the resolution just dips. Especially now that it's summertime, it's going to be hot. So I got to figure that out. But again, like, I'll be bringing more protests to you, as many as I can go to. If I can find funding or a sponsorship, like I was really hoping to meet somebody from Midas at this last protest or somebody just like I could talk to. I had business cards made up and everything, and I was a little disappointed I wasn't able to make any new contacts. But I was busy trying to broadcast it all. So, yeah. I'm trying to figure it out, though, man, to get some funding. Right now, we've been relying on your donations, which has been amazing. You guys have stepped the fuck up for us, man. Again, we got new mics. I got the tripod. I got like $400 worth of equipment for the last just to be. And I was literally standing next to the press. I don't know if you guys watched it at all, but when I turned my phone, I had like all the corporate news was there with their big ass cameras and expensive equipment. And here I am with my mobile phone, just chilling, listening to music, responding to comments and stuff. It was just a blast. Had so much fun. But I was right next to the news. I had full media access. I had access to. There was a big old elevated walkway that I was allowed on. I was the first one there. I got there early in the morning. and picked my spot, and it was great. It was great. And just being actual corporate, being part of the media was a huge step up for our channel. And I hope to do more. I told Fred Wellman I want to do more. So hopefully we can get in touch with Ken Harbaugh. Hopefully we can get, involved with some other groups. Now that we have some time freed up, since we're not involved in the one in fight against fascism anymore. So again, though, I'll be broadcasting, live streaming on No King's Day. I highly recommend everybody go. There are risks, yes, but most likely nothing's going to happen. Don't let LA fool you, okay? That was the extreme case, and it was started by ICE. But most protests you're going to go to, I've been to 7 this year, and I have not had a single problem. More than maybe a little bit of ruckus, but nobody like starting anything violent or anything like that. Not even close. So don't be afraid to go out. Don't be afraid to go out. Just, there are risks. I'm not going to lie, but at the same time, you're in a massive crowd of people. What are they going to do to all of us? You know what I'm saying? Safety in numbers. So I highly recommend, if you've never been to a protest, please attend one. Or if you don't want to go or cannot go, or you don't live in the United States like some of our viewers, you watch it here. We're going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep bringing everything to you live. I'm not going to stop. At this point, I'm not going to stop. After the last event, being there with the media, I feel like our channel is headed in the right direction. And I truly feel like I have some great ideas. I just have to figure out how to implement them. So, again, if you guys are able to donate, we really need to dig deep on this one, because we got to make something happen. We got to make this official. So, like I said, I want to start an LLC. We're going to make it the VOR Media Group instead of just the VOR podcast. I want to have separate channels. I want to have one channel dedicated to stand-up comedy. We're going to do the politics stuff, activism work. I want to have contributors making videos for us. So we need editors. We need a team of people to help with cameras and stuff like that. Like, I have all these ideas, and just no way to actually implement them yet. But I feel like our channel's on the right path. So, but thanks to you guys all for watching. I'm going to cut short and go play some video games. If you guys want to watch, I'll be on TikTok and Twitch. But yes. Oh, here we go. He posted again. All right. Darn it. He's still alive. Fuck. Yeah, he posted again. Now he's saying that Los Angeles has been invaded by insurrectionist mobs swarming and attacking our federal agents. Coordination action. Liberate Los Angeles from the migrant. There is no migrant invasion. There's a Nazi invasion right now. Called ICE, but there's no migrant invasion. Put an end to the migrant riots. This is going to get out of hand, okay? And Los Angeles will be set free. What the fuck are you talking about? This guy is psychotic, man. Truly demented toddler running the United States. God damn it, he's still alive. All right. If you go 16 hours without seeing a post from Donald Trump, every once in a while you get a little bit of hope. And then you refresh his feed, you fucking see a post, and you get depressed again. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Amanda. Yeah, I think we were the only podcast at that event. I mean, there were other content creators, but I don't think there were any podcasters and live streamers, because I'm trying to do the IRL streaming thing for this stuff. That's why I want to be on location. Like, if I had money, I'd be in Los Angeles right now, live streaming the whole thing. I'd be right in the middle of it. I truly would. Maybe that's my purpose. This is to document the history in America. You know what I mean? I was in the military. I never got to fight on the front lines or anything like that, but I want to be on the front lines of this fight at home, because it's about to get even worse. And Americans are going to get hurt. If not lose their lives this year because of this. But again, do not get too depressed, because people are uniting against Trump. People are uniting against ICE. Okay, this is going to make them very scared to see this many people. They're calling this a migrant invasion, a migrant riot. They're saying everybody in the riot is a migrant. Okay, obviously not true. And maybe I'm old-fashioned and maybe I'm just naive, but I honestly believe that America is supposed to be the country that you go to have a better life, to pursue the American dream. The American dream, I've realized, was never for people born in America. The American dream was always for people that wanted to come to America, because that was the American dream. You come here for a better life. American dream is really a illusion. It's a lie when you're born here. But people that come from other countries, America is a better place for them. That was the American dream. But now it's hell. It's hell. And again, I hope they cancel the World Cup. I hope they cancel the goddamn Olympics. Donald Trump doesn't deserve any of the recognition for any of it. So, but yeah, he's still kicking and screaming. He's still breathing, unfortunately. So, yeah, we'll have to pursue this for another day. Super. But me and James will be on tomorrow at 9 p.m. doing the Derp State, where we're going to talk about the breakup, the bromance breakup of Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Some of the tweets, some of the recent stuff, some of the rumors. We'll be joking about it all because it is hilarious to watch them implode like children. It really is embarrassing, though. But yeah, I'll be on at 9 o'clock tomorrow with James doing the Derp State. It'll be a lot of fun. And then Tuesday, I don't know. I thought we were having a guest on Tuesday, but they have not verified yet. So I'll have to message them again. So I'm not really sure what the plan is for Tuesday. Regardless, we'll do a show, probably do more updates on Los Angeles and all that. So we'll keep you posted, but keep an eye out for Ukrainian news, Russian news, because there's probably going to be a lot of missile attacks and bombs and drones dropping in Ukraine tonight. And keep an eye on Los Angeles. Let's just pray that nobody loses their lives over this. And let's pray that Donald Trump is the chicken that everybody is calling him, and he eventually, I think he'll chicken out. Once he sees the American people, and that'll be the ultimate gut punch when he realizes that he can't control us. That moment is going to be amazing. But we're not there yet. He still thinks he can control us, but we're close. We're close to letting him know that there's no way you're going to win this. Okay, we're close. But we have to do it together. We have to be united under one common goal, and that is just to save democracy, to save freedom, basic freedoms for all Americans and people that want to come here. That's why we were the greatest country in the world, because you're supposed to come here to get a better life. You got the land of opportunity, remember? Now what are we now? Like, there are no opportunities in America anymore. So anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, so far I'm seeing good things come out of LA. You know, the protesters are not violent. They are standing strong, though. And I'm proud of, they make me proud to be an American. Seeing people out in the streets like that coming together, that makes me proud. Donald Trump makes me feel embarrassed to be an American. But watching actual Americans stand up against this, that makes me very proud. And I'm ready to be on the front lines with them. So we got this, guys. Do not lose hope. Okay, and that's what they want you to do. Again, that's what they want you to do, and it's hard. It's hard, even for me. It's hard not to keep hope alive. But I think we got this. It's gonna get messy. It's gonna get loud, but we're gonna win. They don't stand a chance. So love you guys. We will see you tomorrow, 9 p.m. Set those reminders. I haven't even created a studio for it yet, but I'll post the link probably tomorrow for it. So I will see you guys tomorrow, 9 p.m. East Coast time. Have a good night. Again, if you guys want to donate or see us on other social media platforms, we're doing really good on TikTok right now. All that information is in the link tree, which is in our channel page, our bios, and the description of this video. Also, our GoFundMe is in the link tree, as well as I think my Cash App's even in the description of the video if anybody wants that. So love you guys all. Thanks for tuning in. Again, we'll be on tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming 7 days a week from now on. Occasionally, I'll take a Saturday off probably, or maybe a day off during the week. But from now on, to build this channel and to focus, I'm going to focus on 100% of the time. And I'm going to bring you the news unfiltered before anybody else does. Okay, that's why I like doing these daily recaps, because a lot of these channels, even Midas Touch, they'll do recorded videos and then they'll post them the next day or, over the course of the day. So I like trying to do the news recap where we can talk about all the day's news in one shot. Yeah, and try and figure this out together. So tell your friends about us. We need to grow this channel at a rapid pace, and we can't do it without your support. So word of mouth is very important. Like a small business in a small community, word of mouth is very important. So share this video with your friends, like, subscribe, Share this video on other platforms. All those things you can do are absolutely free and help us out quite a bit. So we love you all. Have a good night. And if you guys want to hang out, I will be playing video games here in a few minutes.